and they had gone down to refuel. Well, as the Huey helicopter is in the air, it actually does not have sufficient power to stay in the air. And right at this point, it was nearly about 100 feet off the ground when all of a sudden a loud siren began to blare in the men's headphones. The helicopter itself began to shake and wobble pretty violently. Then, John says it began to descend out of control. And then it just stops flying altogether. That's when immediately John knew this is a dire situation, because you see, aboard, they were carrying explosives and flares. So they crash, they will surely die on impact. He says he began to hold on to the metal frame of the helicopter, and he says that's when his whole life flashed before his eyes. So many things that he could remember as a child, then as a teenager, going to prom, all these certain events began to flash. And that's when John, he didn't know what else to do. He cried out, "Jesus, save me." And as soon as he said that, John says he saw him. He said Jesus was wearing a white robe and that he was seated as if he was on a tribunal. And it reminded him, this vision he was having, of the Lincoln Monument in D.C. That's kind of what it looked like. He said the vibration of the helicopter stopped, and they began to hover right above the tree line. Many seconds went by of them just hovering, and everybody probably collecting themselves, thinking, whoa, Pilots, he said that night, they felt safe to go back up finally into the air, so they proceed to do so. John says about 15 seconds passed when all of a sudden those sirens began just blaring into the men's headphones again. The helicopter, it shook and it vibrated violently once more.